Hey, welcome to the Explainer. When you're building a sophisticated AI system, you've got to make this really crucial design choice. It's called granularity. I know it sounds super technical, but it's actually pretty simple. It's all about deciding how big or small to make the different parts of your AI. Think of it like building a project team. And trust me, if you get this right, you can build something incredibly powerful.
Okay, so let's just get right to it, the question you're probably already asking. I mean, these AI models are getting crazy smart, right? So why not just build one giant super genius AI to do, well, everything? Just throw any task at it and it figures it out. Why not?
Well, here's the thing. It turns out that even an AI can get overwhelmed. Seriously, it's what some people are calling the overwhelmed genius problem. You see, frameworks like LangChain have shown that when you try to cram too many different skills or tools into a single AI, its performance just tanks. It starts getting confused, it makes bad decisions, and honestly, it becomes a total mess to manage. It's kind of like asking one person to be a doctor, a lawyer, and an astronaut all at the same time. It's just not going to work.
And that brings us to the solution. And it's not about trying to build that one lone genius. No, the real answer is to start thinking like a great project manager. You're not hiring one person for everything. You're building a specialized project team, a team where every single member has a job they're amazing at.
Okay, so if we're going to build this team, we got to meet the players, right? Let's break down the fundamental building blocks of your AI system. We're talking about tools versus agents. First up, we have the tool. Now, a tool is basically the team's specialized equipment. Think of a calculator or maybe an API that just fetches the current weather. It does one thing, and it does that one thing perfectly every single time. It's what we call deterministic, which is just a fancy way of saying it doesn't think or guess. You give it an input, you get a predictable output. That's it. They're super lightweight, incredibly fast, and totally reliable. Now, an agent, that's a whole different beast. An agent isn't just a piece of equipment. An agent is a specialist on your team. This is the part that actually thinks. It's an autonomous component that uses reasoning, memory, and context to tackle a whole area of expertise. So you might have a research agent or a writer agent. These guys have a specific skill set, a domain they really understand. So let's put them side by side, because this is really the key difference. On one hand, you've got tools. They're all about being deterministic, fast, and doing one narrow thing. They don't need to reason. On the other hand, you've got agents. They're autonomous, they use complex reasoning, and they can handle an entire domain. The bottom line is, tools don't need context to do their job, but agents absolutely live and breathe context. They need it to make smart decisions. There's a quote that just sums this up perfectly. If you take away just one thing from this section, let it be this: agents make decisions while tools do the work. It's that simple. One is the brain, the strategist making the calls. The other is the hammer, the screwdriver, the tool that executes the command perfectly. All right, so we've got our specialists, the agents, and their equipment, the tools. But a team of brilliant individuals without a leader is just chaos. We need someone to coordinate everything. So let's meet the team leads of our AI project, taskers and groups. So let's start with the tasker. And honestly, the best way to think about a tasker is it's your AI project manager. It doesn't do the actual work. It's not writing the code or doing the research. Its entire job is to manage the workflow. It's the ultimate orchestrator, making sure that step A happens before step B and step B happens before step C. It's all about sequence. And this is a fantastic example of a tasker in action. Let's say you need a report generated. The tasker itself doesn't write a single word. Nope, it manages the whole assembly line. First, it pings the research agent and says, go get the data. Once that's done, it takes the results and hands them over to the data analyst agent. Then it goes to the writer agent, and for the final step, it sends the draft to an editor agent for a final polish. See? It's a perfectly structured, step-by-step pipeline. But hey, not every problem can be solved on an assembly line, right? Sometimes a linear, step-by-step process just won't cut it. For the really messy, complex problems, you need collaboration. You need everyone in a room brainstorming. And in our AI project team, that's exactly what groups and swarms are for. It's the all-hands meeting. So when do you unleash a group? Well, a few key times.
First, for parallelism. That's when you need to do a bunch of things at once, like have one agent scraping documents while another one is hitting the web. You can also use it for specialization, assigning specific roles like a planner and an executor. But one of my favorite patterns, and it's super powerful, is for critique. You pair a generator agent that comes up with ideas with a critic agent whose only job is to poke holes in them. They go back and forth, refining the idea until it's solid gold. Okay, we've met the whole team. We've got our tools, our agents, and our team leads. So the big question is, who do you put on the field and when? Let's wrap this all up into the ultimate AI playbook. And here it is, your cheat sheet. It really boils down to this. Is the job a simple, deterministic, one-and-done action, like fetching weather data? That's a tool, all day long. Does the task need some actual thinking and autonomy in a specific area, like a customer support agent handling billing questions? You need an agent for that. Is it a structured, multi-step process, like that report we talked about? That's a job for a tasker. And finally, for those complex problems that need different perspectives or parallel work, you call in a group. So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Building great AI isn't about chasing that one mythical, all-powerful genius agent. It's about being a smart manager. It's about building a balanced, effective team. You look at the problem in front of you, and you choose the right component with the exact right level of complexity, the right granularity for that specific job. You know, this whole idea of building teams of AI agents is insanely powerful, but it does leave us with a pretty mind-bending question for the future. As these AI teams get bigger and more complex, I'm talking hundreds, maybe thousands of specialized agents all working together, who's in charge? Who becomes the ultimate manager of it all? Is it a human, or is it another, even smarter AI sitting at the top orchestrating everything?